Disney has killed Star Wars and they're basically not backing down. They're not acknowledging the problem that continues to exist. Kathleen Kennedy and just Disney leadership and Disney people for that matter are just blaming fans rather than confronting the problem of what's going on with Star Wars as of right now. Let's just look at the Acolyte, which honestly, like I thought wasn't that bad. Like I think this IMDb score is accurate. It's I would say like a 5 out of 10. But the problem is it's just mid, and it's so mid and bad. It's like the type. It's like almost on the level of like a fan show. Like it's that just like mid. It's not like that stellar content that you'd want to watch that brings Star Wars its magic, and it's not anything new. It's the same stuff over and over and over and over and over. So let's just look at um the Acolyte. I'll pull it up in a second. Okay, so I'm just gonna let's start with the opening scene here. So we're given so this is our exposition, right? Setting the promise and stuff of the entire show, and we get this kind of okay. That this is also the most cringiest line with the worst delivery I've ever heard. Literally, when I heard that, it was so cringe. This is the type of show I'd watch with like my 9-year-old brother or like cousin. All right, like this is not. I thought like my understanding of what the Acolyte was gonna be like or what it's promising right now at least is the opposite of what it's like writing is delivering. The writing is kind of bad. I'll just get that out first. But okay, let's see what they're trying to do here, right?
Attack me, Jedi.
Jedi do not attack the unarmed.
Yes, you do.
So obviously there's clearly something going on behind the scenes here, but and then she's forced to intervene. So see, so this choreography isn't honestly that bad. It's okay. It's just okay, and that's but the thing is, and no one's really expecting it to be amazing, you know? Like, I mean, obviously, people would prefer something that's out of this world good and everything, but that's honestly not what you get most of the time. I'm telling you, like, most of the cast here, and people that are defending it are saying that people have their expectations too high and they're just criticizing it. But the thing is, the are pretty normal, and it's really just the trash that Disney has been putting out, which is great. So first of all, we have Ahsoka show, which is actually tragic. The Ahsoka show was actually terrible. They had like one good episode, but see, like, yeah, here that episode was good. You know, you have like some good stuff happening, some good tie-ins with other stars. Andor is a great show. It's great. Andor is great. I watched all of it. I loved all of it. But another issue with Ahsoka is that you have Sabine Wren. I didn't watch the end, but I found it incredibly dumb that you can just be struck with a lightsaber and come out completely fine. And they did that also in Obi-Wan, which is which is I mean you're literally you would not survive that. These are like pretty thick. I mean, maybe. So what's also stupid is that being a Jedi also depends on your midichlorian count. I mean, there's literally stories of Jedi like taking children, which is what they do. They take children and like separate them, and then they take one over the other because they have a higher midichlorian count. They're more connected to the Force. They can be a Jedi while the other cannot. That type of stuff. It's not an anybody can be a type of Jedi, can be a Jedi type of thing, but that is kind of what the main Star Wars is about with Luke becoming a Jedi and he's kind of a nobody. But the fact still remains that not everybody can be a Jedi. Yeah, they're kind of just doing that, which is also very annoying. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. See, I thought like honestly when I was watching this, I was like, okay, this is all pretty good, honestly. The one like literally just the writing threw me off here in this scene. And then this is kind of stupid,
I have an
where
unidentified Force user.
you imagine she'd be able to as a Jedi master, I assume. Yeah, Master and Dara, I think is what they called her. You'd assume that she'd be able to use the Force and and I mean this is just how she dies. Let's see.
Not want to go down.
So they have a history, and then she's like obviously gonna do something. Here's where you, instead of staring at her, you just literally grab the, you force pull the knife out, or literally something. But it's like they have selective force use, like they only choose to use it now. She could have totally. What is that reaction time? It's almost at hand. You know it's gonna happen anyway, and then you're just standing there like an idiot. So this is all very stupid, obviously. Um, and she dies because, and yeah, who knows, she's supposedly good at fighting when she's literally been a Jedi master for who knows how long. Okay, okay, that's just one thing that I'm not gonna get too mad about that. And then we go to here, and I was very confused about this because I thought it was the same person. But then, so I like the plot twist of not of finding out that it wasn't the same person. That was all very good. The way of talking to a robot as a way to separate the two characters, kind of, was honestly not very good. This is just not new. This is a time period before 100 years before the main trilogy. Right? 100 years before Anakin Skywalker, the Clone Wars, yada yada yada. This is 100 years before that, and you have the same exact stuff. Waking up in a ship, which is, and you have a talking robot companion. That is, this is not talking to her. Like this is the same stuff. Like we've already seen so much of this. And honestly, this is 100 years before. They could have done something different here, something a little bit more archaic. This is just standard old Jedi versus,
Whoa.
they're not really showing anything different about the time here. There's the setting. It's a different setting, right? They made this whole thing about it being a different setting, but they're not doing anything about it being a different setting. Like they're not capitalizing off of it, if that makes sense. Like that's what's going on here too. They have another talking companion robot waking up on a ship, doing work on it, yaba yaba. And then another thing is just the need to like over alien everything. Like this is just mm, it's fine, but like why? I mean, it's cool, I guess. I mean, that's it's fine, whatever. Okay, so I like that. That was good. Okay, the honestly, the way they have him talking is just throwing me off, and the acting here is just there's just too much emphasis on the acting with aliens. They feel the need to like they feel the need to like over exaggerate everything they do in order to give more like and to have the audience like connect with them more. But it really should just be a connection with the audience just already, or maybe not even a connection, just like have them like act like actual beings, like what they are, instead of having them like overact here. If that makes sense.
Sublevel, bunk 23.
And then so this guy, I mean, Jedi just don't do that. Even in an investigation, they don't do that. Like maybe if it's like, I mean, this guy's a Jedi Knight. Anakin Skywalker totally do this, not on a worse level, but if it was someone he personally knew, I mean, I guess him and Andar kind of know each other, but that was like interesting. I mean, Anakin would do that, but I don't know if he would do that with his Padawan next to him. Okay, yeah. All right. I got some. So this is during the High Republic. There's much more Jedi. Jedi have a larger presence, and this guy, he talks later to the girl about how she was brought in later, and he was not. Like she was brought in as too old to the Jedi Order, and we were something we've already seen before, Luke Skywalker again. But anyways, so you have him, and he's kind of like, you were brought in late, you're a Jedi, you're not managing your whatever properly. It's being a Jedi, which is all good and stuff, but he literally is not acting like a Jedi should have right here. So that's just another contradictory thing. And then okay, oh my god, this scene I was like crying.
Connect to the Force.
Okay, first of all, Yoda is totally still alive here, and that's kind of his role. They're just putting him at Yoda's side. And so they have like a closed cast of characters. Like the Jedi, the only person we meet at all during this of the Jedi is this person, basically. This person is the only one that we meet of the Jedi in the temple. But there's so many other ones. And this is not This is not the de facto leader of the Jedi Order. That's not how things work. So first of all, he should not be like bending to hit her. And our Justice Swift an example made. That's another thing to talk about. Jedi don't do that. Aren't like that. I think Mace Windu has a line in the prequels where he's literally saying Jedi are not political, or it's that's just how it is. Jedi are not political. They don't make examples. They're they're keepers of the peace. That's what they are. They're keepers of the peace. So they're not trying to make examples. And then what is going on here? Seriously. I mean, that's all fine, but like, can we get some other Jedi here? Like, let's get the council up here. Like, I don't understand. And then, so, anyways,
To your mind.
s- so he's like teaching them, the younglings.
Fire or the ocean. But that is a lesson for another time.
He's talking about the
It is a power.
he's he's okay. This is what I really have a problem with. The Force being a power we must respect. That is true, but it's not really a power. When Yoda talks about it himself, he's like, oh, it's in all things. You're a part of it. It's about being included in it. You're a part of it. It's not something you respect. It's not something outside of you. He's talking about it as it's like an external force, but it's internal. It's a part of you. It's a part of everything. That's what I really had a problem with as well, because they're treating the force like it's a tool with Disney. It's like it's not. They don't know what the force
You
is.
must
It's like they don't know that.
respect.
Yours. Osha Anasea.
The acting and writing, like I don't honestly, it's okay. It's not bad.
I
It's just
see
kind of
you've
cringe
underestimated
and
your attention
cringe.
to.
It's like a 4 out of 10 exactly. The IMDb is. So I guess it's supposed to show how the Jedi Order and everything are kind of bad. Like they've been showing how there's clearly a problem in the Jedi Order so far. Like they're being hypocritical and stuff. They're taking that kind of stance on the Jedi Order, which is a very real thing in the Star Wars universe. That's a thing. They're hypocritical and everything. And I guess they kind of want to create sympathy for her because she's on a revenge tour, right? So they kind of want to create sympathy for her, and they're doing that by showing that the Jedi are actually she actually has a valid reason for doing that, which is good and all, but where was I getting? But they're kind of just showing it wrong. Like they should be showing what Anakin got frustrated with the Jedi Order, like how they stop before they're too passive. They stop before fully carrying something out, and they can prevent more lives and save more lives, but they don't because of their stupid doctrine and stuff. But they don't really show that so far, at least. Um, and they show kind of like a more brutal, unrealistic side. Like the parasitic stuff, like they just wouldn't do that. And the parasitic stuff is just kind of weird, like a weird thing to show. And then, anyways, so we have this ship full of droids and prisoners, and what I don't get is why the ship has escape pods, like I don't know, two or three, decent amount of escape pods, which is I guess fine. But honestly, it's a prisoner transport ship, and most of these in Star Wars haven't had escape pods, really, and there's like small shuttles. I mean, this is like a larger complex, so you could reason it. And if you're not worried about the prisoners, you only have droids on the ship. You don't really need escape pods, so that's just clearly there for plot, which is okay, I guess. And they're leaving her. She's shocked. I don't know why. They're dealing with convicts, anyways. She's she's not with the Force or whatever. She doesn't care about the Force. I'm just kidding. She's disconnected herself. Like she's disconnected herself from the Force, like Ahsoka. And there's a lot of parodies with her and Ahsoka. By the way, I'm just point that out. This is very similar to Ahsoka. Ahsoka Ahsoka also left the Order on her own, has a strained or kind of unique relationship with her master, being yeah. So these this her and him have a kind of strained relationship, which is exactly like Ahsoka and Anakin. So again, we're seeing some of the same stuff that we've already seen this stuff in the Star Wars universe. We've already seen this kind of prison aspect here in Andor. We've already seen like it's just again, it's nothing new. as new and as invigorating as it could be. It's just not. So, anyways, she fails. So we're getting, but she is lucky, and we're getting some character here. And she lives the
When you keep
crash.
overloads of
Blah
your
blah
own
blah blah
world,
blah.
this pastime encourages sentimentality and nostalgia, and both of these emotions can lead
So
to
we have like
conflict.
another silly costume design here for a Padawan, which is just, I mean, like the other Padawan of Yord or whatever, his and her, that's just
Stories are
so
lessons.
it's okay. It's great, but like they're leaning into it so much, like Jet, like the Star Wars prequels did have Star Wars prequels did Aliens, I thought very well, but they're just leaning into it. It's like it's not even a part of their character. They're just trying to be extra, if that makes sense.
If we don't
So, but I'll keep
believe
going.
in the past,
We're doomed to repeat it.
This is good. This is I like this because that's just also Yoda meditates on the past and everything. Yabba yabba.
Your mutiny.
Also, yeah. So where's Yoda? Where is
Darkness,
Yada? I don't know her name.
beware.
quiet your mind and tell me what happened to the young woman.
She helped me, and I betrayed her and took the last escape pod.
So this is all fine,
Dispatch
cool and
probes
all.
to survey the wreckage.
Okay, I hate this person. I
I
hate that
request
person.
permission to go to Kalek and bring Osha in myself.
It's like honestly, like you do of Jedi of higher standing and stuff. You do listen to them, and you do kind of they are to kind of order you, but like at a certain point, where is the council? Where is the other leadership in this? She's not the sole leader of him and or whatever Jedi. It's just not the case. There's a council. There's everything. So where are they, and why is she the only Jedi that he talks to
It
in
is
this entire temple?
unlikely she's
The
around.
only you mean to tell me that she's the only authoritarian force in the temple that this man goes to and everything?
She's
Like come
alive.
on,
I can feel it.
like let's get it.
I'm afraid I cannot afford to lose you to a field mission, Saul. You're far too valuable here.
Like what does she even do?
I trained her.
Does she sit there?
If she is guilty, it is my.
Yep, that is good. I like that. So she's having hallucinations or whatever. The Force.
But
That's
we
all good.
need backup.
Is it Yod?
Myself, I apologize for my error.
We leave in 5 minutes.
I will redeem myself.
Okay, so now they're painting him as kind of uptight
I thank you for.
guy that's trying to rise in the Jedi ladder and stuff. And he's like a very straightforward. The way they paint him throughout the series is just as a straightforward Jedi. He's very like sticks to the rules. He sticks to the rules, sticks to the order. He's like that's not part of the Jedi way. That's not what we're supposed to do. So he doesn't do that. But again, earlier, like you're doing this on a group of civilians earlier here. You're just like basically threatening them to get information. That is also that is just not a way of Jedi way. And you can't say, oh, he's just a Jedi now. He's inexperienced. That's his character. It's not his character. He's supposed to be straightforward in doctrine and blah 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 blah.
Rosh and
So,
myself, I apologize for my error.
Put your clothes on.
and I just want to talk about how the the lack of the cast not knowing about Star Wars is also just another major issue here. Like that's just a terrible issue to have. Your own cast not knowing what's really going on just shows that what the show is making, the vision, that everything is just not there. Anyways, we got the same stuff. Cruising a ship. They're going someplace to track down a Padawan, which also happens in Ahsoka. I'm pretty sure they're Padawan, their former Padawan. And okay, so she's in a position of not being believed.
You were there.
Okay, so I actually like the twin. Like when I got to this point, I was like, dang, that's actually pretty good.
You
I
killed
like that. I like that. I did not really think there's a twin situation at all at the beginning, because yeah, but that's all good. And the force, her knowing through the force is just also good. I like this. Like I'm not a hater. I honestly like the vision. what they're trying to do, but it's just not working. Like we have another robot again.
You wouldn't believe who I just saw.
Just talking to the robot, like, please, like, can we get some new stuff in here? Like Old Republic type. I want some Old Republic type. Okay.
Sister started. May,
So right away we know,
I saw her die.
like, there's nothing, like, we're at this point we're confused as to what is her motivation, his motivation, which kind of drives the story right now. That's really the only factor in the story, the only mystery. It was like, why is May doing this? Who is the and what's going on with her master and stuff.
Scarlac, prepare for landing.
And then Yord is also like acting as like a friend during all this, but he's also he literally says like we're friends. Is that how friends? Blah 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 blah. But then he's like, I don't know. That's just like, come on. So again, we have this kind of looking for the running away Padawan thing. Again, there's an exact scene of this in Ahsoka. I can find it. There's literally an exact scene of this when Ahsoka's on the run because she's suspected for a bombing in Clone Wars, and that's kind of like she's suspected for murder. Same thing. Like the originality is just so lacking. Please. And then okay, this is also very cringe. Let me just get this straight. Stop in the name of the Republic and the Jedi Order. Okay, they say that so many times. It's like they're trying to convince themselves that what they're doing is for the Republic and Jedi Order. It's like they say that so much throughout the 2 episodes that I watched. Just in the name of the Republic. Like what are you trying to do there? It's just Okay, so Master Padawan confrontation. Got this already in Star Wars.
I didn't do it!
Got this all already. Felt very familiar.
Please, Saul!
And then so and she's talking about believe me and stuff. Like she's trying to convince him, right? And but this is just not at all to the extent of what Ahsoka gone through. The reason it worked there is because she went through like hardship and stuff, and she was actually getting like hunted down. Here, she's only been investigated once and on a prisoner transport ship. She's had no hardship against her. Like she's gone through everything. Her process so far has been like silky smooth. She hasn't gotten tortured, and nothing has happened. I'm not saying Ahsoka got tortured because she didn't, but I don't really feel like certain circumstances were dire enough for her to be standing on the edge of a cliff and saying like, "Oh, I didn't do it. I'm running from you guys because I don't know why. Why am I running from you guys?" There's literally I don't know. The whole running from her was stupid because there's not enough. There's no reason for her to be running away because she's not trying. She's not going to be executed. She's not going to be like she's just suspected at this point. Like for her to be this cornered and like looking off the edge of the cliff, like you have to be like, oh, there's like I really have like almost no other option here. Like or like she literally feels this cornered, but she was only recognized once by the bartender. But that's like decent evidence, right? That evidence is not enough for her to feel this cornered. Is my point.
Do it!
So he's like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you this long. I just want you.
May is alive.
We still have a connection. Blah 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 blah." And that's what. And we already saw this in Anakin and Ahsoka. It's just like a blueprint. It's like a blueprint. Like they're actually following the blueprint.
Dream they believe everyone shares.
Okay, this is also.
The Jedi live in a dream. A
So they're
dream
showing.
they
I was
believe
resign.
everyone shares. If you attack a Jedi with a weapon, you will fail. Steel or laser are no threat to them. But an acolyte kills without a weapon. An acolyte kills the dream.
So there's just like, okay, first This is so bad. Oh my god. Like the kills the dream part, that was like cool and all, but like there's just no. This is horrendous. So talk about okay. So this part is fine and all. This part is stupid. This part is just stupid. Like they really had. They are though. I mean, it is
But an acolyte.
like kills the dream. They're talking about like destroying what the Jedi stand for. Blah blah yabba 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 yabba. But
An acolyte.
they really had to name drop the show. I mean, okay. And the kills without a weapon. That's just she clearly does not kill without a weapon throughout the entire series with their kunais or whatever, her daggers. Yeah, it's just. Mm. And then he draws a sword. Labor. He draws a lightsaber for who knows why.
Without a weapon.
And he's just standing menacingly. He stands there menacing on the side of the cliff for what seems like no reason at all, and that's our introduction. But you say this, but it'd be so much better for you to just show us this is why. Like you don't like you're giving a method for a kind of almost not a reason, not the reason that May's doing all this, but kind of a purpose. But at this point, I feel like this is mistimed. Like this stuff about killing what the Jedi stands for, how the Jedi are like kind of like hypocritical and everything, and they're living in a dream, as he said. You haven't really proved that throughout here. You didn't prove it in the next episode, and you're kind of just stating a purpose without giving the motivation. Like what's wrong with this universe and the Jedi Order? You haven't said anything. Like they just appears completely normal. So it's really hurting the vision of these two. But the reality is that the Sith had like they have stuff like they have motivations that there is something wrong. Like look at the and they have material to go off this. This is not like something that's new and also not done because there's tons of material on this just in general. Like for example with Tales of the Empire, I'm pretty sure in the Count Dooku episodes I watched, they literally shows his descent and everything, and he sees what's wrong with the Jedi. Like that it's there, and there's tons of books and stuff also on what's wrong with the Jedi and everything. And to just mess that up is just mm. And that's just the acolyte. Ahsoka is also terrible. They had like all these have like a few good moments, like um Balin Skull or whatever his name is. He's pretty good. She's trash, honestly. She's not done well. Mon Mothma's done okay, and Sabine Wren is just awful. Uh, okay, I just won't because I loved Rebels, but they just mm. And that's so. In summary, just Acolyte is the same stuff we've seen, just coming at us again. What the Disney just literally just kicking a corpse at this point. They're just going hitting it, kicking it one after bop 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 bop, and they're just like trying to like they expect the fact that they expect these things to work is just crazy. Like you're throwing out the same stuff. Seeing all this wow, and there's nothing new. Like we've seen so many content at this point. Just people just set chilling in ships, doing whatever. With robots talking to robots like ha 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 whatever. Like that. There's nothing new. There's absolutely nothing new about that. Like it's just not different. It's the same mid trash content that doesn't live up to what Star Wars is about. Like it really there's like a huge just misunderstanding on Disney's part about what Star Wars is. So that's it. That's all I want to talk